Okay. So, I know they're just trying to sell their house, so maybe they're just trying to cut back a little bit right now, but I think he's one of those people that has a vision for like 5 years down the road, like where he wants to be in his career and money and all that. So I'm like, well, he could get some extra money with Beachbody. I'm going to show him. So.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. What did he think about the training, the new coach training?
I don't think he had time to go on it. He's been busy. He travels a lot to China for work.
Oh, okay.
Works a lot and then spends time with family when he's home, and then does yoga too.
Yeah.
And he does 21-day fix workouts.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I like people like that though. I like it when they have a drive, and they kind of keep busy.
Yeah.
It seems like those are hard worker qualities.
He did on demand in China and did like a rough 21-day fixed meal plan in China.
Oh wow!
This week, yeah.
Wow,
really good.
How did it go for him? Was it okay?
Yeah, I mean, when I saw their Christmas photo, I'm like, oh my goodness, Leo, like you look awesome.
That's so great.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, because he saw me at a Thanksgiving party and was like, oh my goodness, what is Laura doing, Constanza? I'm going to do the same thing.
I love it that we're like walking billboards. That's so funny.
I had somebody at a dance class who was like, I thought you were one of those. I'm not one to make a comment like this, but she said it to me. She said, I thought you were one of those skinny Asian dancers. I didn't recognize you. There were a lot of Taiwanese at my last dance event. So I'm like, well, I don't think I'm that small, but thank you.
That's amazing. I feel like when I look at you, just as an outside perspective, I feel like you've gotten really small.
Yeah, except for one area now.
Well, that's what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't count. Even like at my smallest, I still have my butt and I still have like some of my stomach and the loose skin that I want to cut off, but I don't want to cut off at the same time. Like, I don't want to do surgery. I'm just like, well, whatever. It's just going to be there, I guess.
Wait, I don't even know where it is because that picture of you in your bikini, your tummy is so tight looking. Like, it looks great.
Which one?
The one it was like it could be a bikini and board shorts. I wasn't sure if it was a bikini and board shorts for you. But
the one she just posted where she's in like her bra and shorts.
Yeah. I didn't know.
Lori knows. She's like, I recognize that bra. That's Victoria's Secret.
I wasn't going to say, but I had a bikini that looked like a bra because I needed that help.
I think that was the one where I said that I was more comfortable with my curves now or something like that.
Yeah. But you've got great curves.
Thank you.
But I think the 21-day fix had changed the shape of my legs.
Yeah.
Because she used to be a dancer, so I feel like she really targeted like the different parts of your thigh and your butt, and I hadn't worked that in a long time. And I don't know.
Yeah. I've started doing the Insanity Max 30. I'm on my third week. I guess I just started my third week. And the first time I did this, the results were not as extreme, as other people's, but over the holidays I did put on the scale, and I'm trying to figure out if it's from all the muscle I was building or if it's like a combination of food choices. So that's why I chose to do this program, just to test to see if not using weight and just my body weight will bring the scale part down. Just to see, because I'm like, I just want to see how much muscle that actually was.
I'm not happy with the hammer and chisel.
No.
I just don't feel. I don't know. I want to be smaller, not bigger.
That's exactly how I feel too. I'm like,
I'm not worried because I haven't been able to do it to the full amount, and I definitely bulk up when I lift heavy weight. So
yeah, there's one girl that purchased I guess she purchased in December, but She's been doing it, and then when I posted that about how my legs got bigger, she's like, "Oh, I'm glad that you actually posted that." She reached out to me through private message, and she's like, "I'm glad you posted that because I tend to run bigger muscle too." So she's, instead of like listening to the trainers, go heavy, she's actually just doing 5 and 8 pounds and not going to increase. And I said, "You'll probably be okay with that." But then I was remembering how you said, Laura, about the shorter time frame, how it kind of tends to bulk you up. So I told her about that, and just to keep an eye, on it.
Yeah, light reps more, or lightweight more reps.
I think that's why the 21-day fix works so well for people, because that's what she does, right? Like I remember doing a move for like a full minute at a time.
Yeah, and you can do 15 to 20 reps.
Yeah.
I really like the 21-day fix. Like
I know. Me too.
I know. I feel like
I'm trying to plan it out for like the cruise, where I know what I want to look like by the cruise, and so I'm like, okay, I'll do this Insanity Max 30, and should I do it for the full 60 days, or should I maybe do size, or the 21-day fix like right before? I'm thinking maybe the 21-day fix right before, but we'll see. So kind of like tossing it around.
I'm going to start doing a hybrid of 21-day fix and the active maternity.
Oh, good.
I can't do a lot of the stuff on my back anymore.
Yeah. I actually have been wondering if can you just make up a hybrid? I mean, like, what would that do, Because I was even thinking that'd be kind of fun to do Insanity Max 30 in size, or size and 21-day fix.
There's hybrids online that people have done.
Oh.
Like people did Insanity and P90X. I know that was a hybrid people were doing.
And it gives people results, you think? Not doing the workouts in order of the workout calendar?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure the results would be different, but you'd get results.
Yeah. All right, you guys. So I'm going to kick this off officially. So, all right, let me meet everybody. Okay, you guys, so welcome officially to today's Team Be the Change meeting. I just wanted to record a little early because I want you guys at home, if you missed the meeting, to see that we do actually visit for a little bit before we get going. So if you feel like you're missing out on the community portion of our team, joining in on these team meetings is like huge for me. Like I feel like I get to visit with people and we just connect, and I really, really love it. So I wanted you guys to see that. Okay, so if you have a pen and piece of paper, I highly recommend that you do. If you don't, go grab it. This is going to be huge, you guys. I want you to, like, after this meeting is done, I'm going to post it to YouTube, or my YouTube channel, like I always do. But I want you guys to either create a video with what you're going to learn today for your team, or just use this link to send to your new team members over and over again, because I truly believe that if you can help your team members to really understand why they became a coach, what their goals are, why they're going to keep going when times get tough, when they hear no all the time, I really feel like this is going to help them to be just a stronger coach, and to want to keep going when times are tough. Okay, so if you guys are in on the team page, I titled this, and I actually snagged this from another coach, but let me see if I say this right. Okay. What the F are your goals? Okay, so basically, we're going to have a piece of paper, and we're going to put 8 things down on your piece of paper, okay? And there's going to be 8 categories, and each of these categories, after we go through them, after the team meeting, you can do this, or you can even start writing them out as stuff, comes to you. But this is really going to help you to create your why, okay? So it's really important, whether you use a piece of paper, or if you want to maybe do this on your phone, if you want to create a Word document to maybe print and like put on your fridge or by your desk, in a, you know, really nice picture frame that you can, you know, put it right next to you when you're working. But you want to make sure that you have this with you always, or at least have it in the forefront of your brain, because, you know, this business is not easy, okay? It takes a lot of mental, emotional, and physical energy, all of it. So you want to make sure that you have your why always in front of you so that you don't give up on yourself when times get hard, which all of us can, you know, attest to. They do sometimes. Okay, so here are the 8 categories. And as you write these down, consider this. You can actually make out your goals, revisit your goals every month if you want to. So this doesn't necessarily have to apply for the entire year and then you like forget about it, and then, you know, then you revisit it next year and you're like, oh, I wonder how I did, you know? Like, you can literally write this down right now, and then next month you can revisit and make sure that your why is the same. Or maybe you need to add some things, you know? So keep that in mind. I actually am going to plan on doing mine at least every couple of months, because life happens, you know, stuff in our life can change things, you know? Something might come up where, you know, you might need to make some extra money, and then your why, you know, might change. Or maybe a family member has to move in with you for one reason or another, and so, you know, that kind of changes your why around. So I think that's why it's important to not just do this once a year, but do it at least every couple of months. Okay, number 1, you're going to write out your goals that you have for your family. Okay, so, you know, and some examples might be, I'll just give you some that I have for myself. So, like, for my family, I actually, on my dream board, wrote out that I want to help my family to get to their goals. So I want to sit down with each of my family members, ask them, you know, what types of things are important to them right now, and how, as a mom or a wife, I can help get them there. And so that was one of my goals that I had for myself, for my family. Another thing that we have tried to focus on, so, you know, it's kind of hard when you get crazy busy, but we try to, like, turn off our devices during dinner. And, like, I've been trying not to bring my phone, you know, because even if my phone's turned off, it still buzzes at me, and I still get, like, my brain goes to what's happening on the phone. And so we've been trying to just leave the phones, like, don't even bring them. We're not perfect, obviously, but that is, you know, a goal. And especially when we go out to eat, that's huge. Like, I don't want to be that family that everyone's looking down at their phone. Like, what's the point of going out to dinner if you're not going to visit? That's my thought process. So that's just some examples for your family. Number 2, finances and business. What I love about this business is that we are encouraged to not only write out our goals for our finances and business, but we're encouraged to put a timeline on them, specific dates. That is so important, because if you don't put a specific date to something, a lot of times what will happen is it won't be as big of a push for you to get there by that certain date. You know, maybe you will get lazy sometimes, you know, with your goal in this area. So, you know, write it out. So, for instance, if you know that you are pushing to diamond and you want to be diamond by the end of February, you write that down, okay? And then you push and do everything that you can to get there. If you want to be 1 star by the end of March or 2 star by the end of March, you write down the date. Now, of course, you're not, you know, maybe don't always hit it by that date, but you put in the energy, the extra energy. So even if you don't hit it by that certain date, you will have pushed and created enough momentum that you will get to it sooner, probably really, really close to that date, if not by that actual date, or sometimes before. You know, sometimes if you're really pushing, you're like, dang, I got to my goal before my date. That's so awesome. And then what I really, really like to do, especially when it comes to my business, if I hit a date or if I hit my goal by a certain date, I will reward myself. So And then just so you know, when I reward myself, like it's a tax write-off because I'm like, I did this because I met a business goal, and so my reward is whatever, you know? And then like I'll write that on the receipt, you know, reward for hitting, you know, goal or whatever. So I like to do that because I am all about rewards. So why not reward myself too, right? So I like to do that. Okay, so number 3, what are your fitness and health goals? Okay, so again, this can change, right? Like you might, you know, want to lose, I don't know, 5 pounds within 2 weeks. So if you hit that, then you got to make another goal because you don't want to get stagnant in your health and fitness either. So, you know, if you hit that 5 pounds, what's your next goal going to be? Do you want to build more muscle? Do you want to lean out? Do you want your butt to be more lifted? Like, be specific, write it out, and again, give yourself a date. With nutrition, same thing. Like, if you're maybe wanting to go lower carbs, you know, write that out. If you're wanting to cut out sugar, where you're not going to have sugar for 30 days, or maybe no caffeine, or maybe you're going to focus on not eating anything after 8 p.m. You know, any of those kind of things that could be written down as a goal. Okay, number 4, what are your goals for food and nutrition? So again, this is kind of the same thing, like, you know, how many meals a day do you want? Are you going to be doing the 21-day fix? Are you going to be super focused for a month and not have any cheats? So be specific, again, with dates. So write that down. Okay, number 5, fun stuff. So it's really important, right, that not only are we like focused on things that feel hard, but you also need to have fun goals too, you know? So something that feels like, you know, a treat, like if you want to buy yourself something. Again, if you hit a goal, maybe this can be applied to your fun goal. Like when you hit a business goal or your nutrition goal or whatever, you can like reward yourself with, I don't know, like a pedicure, or maybe a family picnic, or I don't know, a trip, you know? I mean, it could be whatever you think is fun. I personally love to go just anywhere really with my family. So like it could pretty much be like going and walking at the mall, or going out to eat, you know, and seeing a movie. Like those types of things for me are fun. A little more basic maybe, you know, but it feels fun and it creates memories, you know. So I just feel like whatever creates memories and feels like fun and kind of gives you that light-spirited feeling, then that's what you should write down. Okay, number 6, free time. So what are your goals? Like, what are your goals that you want to be doing when you're not working? What are your goals when you're done working out? Or like, maybe you're done with everything and your kids are at home and they're done with their schoolwork and they're just, everyone's taken care of, and you're like, boom, what can I be doing right now? You know, same thing. Like for me, what just brings you that, that feeling of contentment? You know, that feeling of just being one with everything, you know, that like Zen feeling, sometimes people call it, or just feeling like calm, you know. So how do you fill up your time? Like for me, here's some examples. When I have free time, I love to read, and I love to read in the sun. So if it's sunny out and it's not too cold, I'm outside when I have free time. Because it makes me feel better. It inspires a lot of creativity. Like I am outside, and even though I'm not even thinking about business, a lot of times I'll be outside enjoying myself and reading, not even thinking about business. And all of a sudden, this amazing idea comes into my head, and I'm like, oh my God, that would be so amazing, you know? And so a lot of times when you're like letting loose and you're doing stuff in your free time, that helps to get that creative juices flowing. So that's a really good thing, like to think about. If you feel stuck in your business ever, or you feel like you know, bored, or like it's become mundane, schedule in some free time for the day and just make sure that you do something to enjoy yourself, and more times than not it will kind of get your juices flowing again. But you know, free time could be like more vacations. It could be, whatever you want. Like, I don't know, whatever anybody feels like they want to write down, you can actually put it there. I know sometimes people like to join sports teams or whatever, so just kind of put what you like to do. Okay, number 7, friends and relationships. So this is actually an area of my own that I'm working on for 2016. So what types of goals do you want to specifically achieve in your friendships and relationships with maybe your spouse or your partner? So like for myself, I actually made it a goal this year to literally pick up the phone and talk to people instead of texting or Facebook messaging. Like, it's important for me to, see people's faces. It's important for me to hear their voice. Like, I feel that connection stronger, way, way stronger than I would through a text. I tend to be one of those people, and I don't know if it's my age, I have no idea, but I tend to be one of those people that will overthink what a text or an email means. I'm like, that sounds weird. What do they mean by that? But then when I go and talk to them, they're like, what are you talking about? I didn't even mean it that way. I totally feel like, the society that we're in right now, it's so, computer driven that we tend to lose that human touch. And so I have made it my goal to do that. So, what are your goals? Like, do you want to go out to eat with your husband more often, have more date nights? Those are always fun. Do you want to maybe, have more intimate evenings with your husband? I know when you have smaller kids, you do have to plan, those more often. I know when my kids were a lot smaller, and actually Chuck and I still do this, we actually will plan an overnight somewhere. And now that the kids are older, they can actually watch themselves, and we'll just like check in with them, and make sure everything's okay. But when they were younger, we would have one of our moms come over and just stay over the night, and that allowed us to go to a hotel for the night. So, whatever those types of goals are that you have, write them down, and again, put a date on them. And then when you achieve these things, you can actually put a date that you've achieved them too. Okay, so the last one is number 8, which is faith. Okay, so whatever your faith is, faith in God, faith in, trust, whatever that is and what it means to you, write down what your goals are. Like for me personally, I'm trying to get into the Bible more this year and just spend like some extra time in prayer. So like what I have is a prayer journal. And ever since I started my walk with God, I've kept a prayer journal. I'm not in it every day. Sometimes I'll go months without writing in it, but then I'll pick it up again if I'm kind of feeling like I have lost that connection with God a little bit. And I'll start journaling again, and it's so amazing how instantly closer I feel to God when not only am I reading, in the Word, but I'm also writing out what I've gotten from reading. And then I'm like praying over it, too. So like, what are you trying to show me, God? What do I need to learn from this? How can I apply it to my life? Thank you for taking me through this and this and this. And it's amazing, like, once you actually are done, how, like, it's almost like a brain dump, but you're brain dumping with God, if that makes sense. So it's like, not only are you putting, like, I hear brain dump, get everything out on paper. I mean, it's the same thing, but it's like, with God, you can be so freaking real that it feels more close, when you're done. So that's what I love about prayer journaling. So maybe it's something like that. Like maybe you have a goal, yourself to get closer to God or learn more about God. Like, who is God? Like maybe you just want to learn more about him. So maybe that's your goal, is you're trying to discover more of who he is and that type of thing. Maybe you want to try out a church, whatever that is, then write that down. And those are basically the 8 things, you guys. And so when you have these 8 things, what you're going to do with them after you actually have them written out is you're going to ask, just like a child asks you when, they, like you ask them to do something and they're saying, but why, mommy, but why, daddy? Like you want to be curious about why you're writing these things down. So You need to ask yourself, why do you want these 8 things? Like, why do you want to connect with your friends more on the phone? I can ask myself this. So why do you want to get closer to God? Like, you need to ask yourself why. You need to dig deep on this. Get an emotion to link to the reason. You need to go beyond the why. Really, really important. And this will help you get beyond if what you really want is that why. Like this, when you create an emotional response behind what your why is, this is actually what's going to help you to know, okay, you know what, maybe that isn't really a goal that I have, you know, maybe it's really this, you know, and through this exercise, you're actually going to discover if these things are really your why. Or if I've heard this from other coaches too, you know, if you write down a business goal, like let's say you write down, like this is real interesting. I used to write down that I wanted to make $1,000 a week in my business. And while that sounds great, and I wouldn't mind that, okay? And I've done it before in my corporate job, and it, you know, it used to feel good. It used to feel like we were never stressed about money, you know, because I was contributing quite a bit. But when I wrote that down, this might even be a year ago that I wrote this down. When I first learned how to link emotion to a why, and I asked myself why I wanted to make $1,000 a week, you know what, you guys? It actually wasn't because I needed $1,000 a week. It was because I was hearing from other coaches that they wanted to make $1,000 a week. And to me, in my mind, as I was learning as a new coach, it seemed like that's what I should be putting down, is $1,000 a week. And so when I discovered that my why is not really just, you know, centered around money, it's not. Like, if I became a millionaire today, I probably would freak out because I wouldn't even know what to do with that much money, you know? But, like, I don't really feel like I am in this business to make huge amounts of money. Like, if it happens and, you know, I'm going for it. Like, I'm going for building an amazing team. Like, a lot of people, I have this vision of having a lot of people that are, you know, self-reliant, self-driven, passionate about life and helping others. Like, if we create that community and we've got all these people moving in the same direction, money's going to happen, you know, on its own. I mean, I know that, but my real vision for myself in this business and the team is to create a culture where we're making a huge difference in people's lives and we're literally saving lives. Like, that is what gets me up in the morning and what my actual drive is. So you have to make sure that whatever your why is, that you connect it to an emotional reason, and asking yourself why it's important to you to hit that goal is really, really big. Okay, then the next thing is you want to go through a visualization exercise with your goals. So you want to actually see what it feels like to attain those goals, okay? So you don't want to just, you know, dream about them or think, yeah, that would be nice, you know, if I got there. But you actually want to use all 5 of your senses and imagine, like, when you're imagining what that would feel like, okay? So, for instance, if I was making $1,000 a week, okay, if that was me, what would that taste like to me? So that would probably be a lot of brownies I'd be able to buy. Like, what would it smell like? What would it hear? You know, what would I see when I have $1,000? Okay, so here's what's interesting about the $1,000. Okay, one thing that I know is I know that I would feel not stressed about, like, how much money is in the account and having to feel that need to balance all the time. Like, I could probably go for a couple of days without balancing the checkbook and I would be okay and not stressed out about it, and I would not have to be like, you know, oh, I don't know if we can afford that when my husband wants to go, you know, get a haircut, or, you know, wants to go buy something at Best Buy, or, you know, those types of things. Like that type of stress, I know would not be there if that money, and that's probably the only thing that would be nice, having that $1,000 a week. So you kind of have to like really start visualizing, like, what would that look like? Well, if my goal is to go more places with Chuck overnight, okay, let's say we want to have more romantic, you know, interludes. That would mean more money, right? You know, you have to have more money to rent a hotel room. So that $1,000 can go towards that, you know? And so obviously, like, when you start visualizing, man, I could be like, you know, on vacation more. I could see myself in this tropical place. You know, I could smell the salt in the air. I could see myself in my bikini next to the pool if I met this goal. Like, if you really start using your senses and literally put yourself in that place of already meeting that goal, it's going to happen, you guys. It's going to happen faster. I swear, it works. I remember years ago, before I even knew what this was all about, visual, you know, no one really talked about visualizing, but this one manager I had in the sales job said to me and our team, what are you working towards right now? And at that time, I really wanted to take my boyfriend to Disneyland. And so what he said was, go get a picture of Disneyland and put it on your computer. Every single day as you're working, know that you're working towards Disneyland. And you're going to look at Mickey Mouse, and you're going to look at the magical kingdom with all the pretty lights. You're going to imagine yourself there. You're going to imagine yourself walking around, taking pictures with Mickey, going on the rides. Like, it literally worked to put me in that place. And you guys, I met that goal of going to Disneyland in like 2 weeks versus I wanted to meet it within 3 months. I met it in 2 weeks. That's how powerful that exercise is. So, you know, that was even before like self-help people were talking about it. This guy just must have known or something that really, really worked. So I have done that too. Like, I've cut out Shalene pictures, for instance, and I made this board one time. It was like a dream board, and I put like a picture of what Shalene looks like with a little blurb, you know, of a little saying that she said, like how good you're gonna feel when you get there, and that was when I was still trying to lose weight. And so I've done like a lot of visual stuff like this, even before becoming a Beachbody coach. And so it's definitely something that works. So I want to encourage you guys to do that. Focus on that this week. Get this message out to your team, all of your team. Even if, you know, maybe they're discount coaches, you know, you could just ask them, hey, I just went through this exercise. It's really helped me. Even if you're not wanting to do the business part, this might actually help you at least in your personal, you know, goals with your health and fitness, you know, because most of us at least join for health and fitness reasons. And so they will be very appreciative for you giving them a tool to use to help them in their health journey. And so, you know, maybe when they get to the business part, it's not Beachbody, it's their work, you know, and that's okay. That's totally fine. But I think that this exercise will be super helpful for every person that we meet and we touch through this business. So I hope that it helps. I will, again, upload this to my YouTube channel so you guys could, you know, use this link. Share it with people. And again, if you want to create your own video to put on your YouTube channel about the importance of, you know, writing down the why, you know, being the curious child, asking yourself why you want to hit these goals, and then doing the visualization exercise. So if you want to talk about that in a video, I think it would be awesome. And I think that your team would really appreciate it. And anyone that, you know, happens to stumble upon you as a follower, I think that they'll appreciate it too. So I think it'd be a good thing. All right, you guys, so take care, and I hope that you have an amazing week, and you guys stay on for a second, and I will talk to you later. Bye.